friends. By definition, this is people who you go to the club, get a tequila shots, get a shit face, or on the weekends you chill on the couch, or you go to the cafe nearby and then watch one of your friends working as a waitress. Well, at least that's how I defined when I was younger. But now I define my friends as people who support me and then who has a similar mindset or philosophy in life. There's something in common so that we can elevate together, we can share some value in life and then still do some stupid things together. I have been traveling around the world since I was 19, 20, and I formed so many friendships all over the world in different countries, different cities. But then I realized that all of us have a pattern when it comes to the making friends or building surroundings and environment. And that pattern alone can ruin your life or save your life. This is the second most powerful force in your life that will determine the certain direction in your life. Maybe you experienced getting betrayed by friends or having friends who actually talk shit about you in the back. So even if you have friends, we could easily feel disconnected or we could easily feel lonely. And it can be really depressing to feel that way, to experience that friendship that way, and especially when you're going through tough times or when you're facing something, obstacles in your life. And on the other hand, it can also make you feel so good and feel so important when friends need you, when friends love your personality and hanging out with you, because it validates us. But the real question is, are you surrounding yourself with the right people? So in this video, I'm going to share why it's so important to have certain people, the right people in your life, and then reorganizing your friendship and environment. And the difference between the friendship can ruin your life and friendship can elevate your life. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sho. In this channel we share love and positivity and with a twist of Japanese philosophy in it. So if you like that, make sure to hit the subscribe button, notification bell. It helps me to reach more people so that I can help more people. So why we all need this right people in our life or a certain high quality friendship in our life is because we adapt to the environment. This ability is basically the best ability that we have as a human being. By adapting to the certain environment or by adapting to the certain energy or the way of living, that will shape our belief and that will shape the way of living. So that means if you're in a negative environment, that will basically sabotage you from pursuing your dreams or being positive or stepping up to the next level, being a better version of yourself, just smoking weed, chilling on the couch, Netflix, and then not doing anything but then bitching about life. You will adapt it to that lifestyle. You will adapt to the philosophy behind. So let's say your life is a movie. And right now you're in this chapter, a chapter, not the whole story, but in a chapter. Now you are dealing with yourself, facing yourself, and then realizing that maybe something has to change. Maybe you need to cut your friends. Maybe you need to change the environment. So the next chapter will be you leaving this current environment and then actually step out from the environment that you're in. So here's the scary part. Even if your friends or your environment are sweet and kind and absolutely loving, you might have to leave it. Because it's not because they're bad people, it's not because they're giving you a negative influence, but it's just, it doesn't align with what you want. It doesn't align with the way you want to go. You might have to make a decision, because just because they love you, that doesn't mean that you have to listen to them, or that doesn't mean that you have to follow their exact path. I grew up in a place where very, very small, cozy town and small community. It's beautiful people. I love my friends back in home. But I've seen so many talented people who could elevate their life in a bigger scale, I mean. But then there's a lot of friends of mine who were stuck not just in a hometown, but stuck in exactly where they were when they were 18. And then as a friend, I wanted to elevate their life. I wanted to influence in a positive sense of mind. I wanted to let them know that, yo, you have something better than you actually thinking that you are. And you can do so much more. And then I just genuinely love encouraging people like that. And especially when it comes to my friends, I mean, I'm not going to be silent. I've seen so many people who has, damn, like, you're so talented. You have so unique part. You have this amazing skill. But then because of the fear, because of the ego, because of something that sabotaged them, they just never leave that chapter. And I believe you have something that, hey, like I have this. I know that I have a talent. I know that I'm unique. I know that I have this and that. You have to get out from the chapter. The story never ends if you're stuck in a one chapter, because it has to keep going. It has to be dramatic. It has to be cinematic, because your story is so much more than you actually think. Have you ever looked at somebody, social media, your friends, or whoever it is, and then thought, if that person can do this, I could do the same, or I could do even bigger? Have you ever thought that? Because I've thought thousands of times, looking at these people, like, hey, I have something better. Like, not to be arrogant, but then, there's some core of myself, that believing myself, and there's something like, like, I can do this. But then I was afraid, or I was self-conscious, I was not ready to take that step, because I was not taking any steps to get out from this small comfort zone. Because the strongest force, the most powerful force that you can rely on or you can utilize, is your mind and the body. That's why in my channel I talk about self-love, I talk about meditation, I talk about the mind and body. But the second most powerful force that you can utilize is your ally. And even if you're a loner, maybe you're not really good at communicating, you're not really good at making friends, but that's also fine. And I'll tell you how you can utilize that, your introvert version of yourself, and to actually surround yourself with the right people. And even if you feel like, I don't think I have a talent, I don't think I'm that unique, but it doesn't matter if you utilize these two most powerful forces that you can utilize, which is your body and mind, and then your ally. You can flip your life 180 and you can manifest the things that you don't believe that you can do. So this is 3 reasons why you need to, or you have to surround yourself with the right people. So number 1, the ability to adapt to the environment allows you to think the way they think. So essentially you will allow yourself to think differently just because you can adapt to the environment, the way they think, that will influence you, and then you start to actually think like them. That changes the belief system, and that means eventually that will change how you behave, and it'll change your reality as well. Number 2, you're communicating in an energetic level with their electromagnetic field, which is their energy. And that allows you to tap into the different type of energy, which is higher, which is more stronger than what your energies are currently. And energy is everything. 99.999% of everything in this world is energy, which means if your energy changes, things around you will change. The fast, you cannot change anything except you. The moment that your energy shifts, that's when the change happens. So just simply by having people that will elevate you or lift you up, that make you feel fucking good, your energy is now higher and better, that will attract different things, that attract different people, that attract more abundance, that attract more love. Number 3, you can borrow their charisma. So if you surround yourself with people who is ahead of you, that means they have something better than you, which I'm not telling you to compare yourself. I'm telling you to be aware, and then actually having people who's ahead of you so that you can look up to, so that you can follow their path, rather than people having behind you or people who's absolutely not going anywhere. There's no inspiration. When you lack of inspiration, your soul suffers. And here's the thing, there's a lot of people who just like acting like they are it, hanging out with these rich people, like successful people, and they're just hanging out with them. And in Japan, what we call them a goldfish poop. I'm not joking, I'm not making up. These people who are just like kissing their asses and just like acting like they're one of them. And these people, what I'm talking about. So you don't want to be a goldfish poop because it's poop. You don't want to be a poop. You want to be somebody who can actually influence people, who actually pursue their dreams, who actually be happy. So by having certain people around you, or having friends, or being in a certain environment, allows you to borrow their charisma, because now you are looking at them, you are seeing, observing how they act, how they behave, how they speak. So you start to feel the resonate with their movement. Again, this is the ability of adaptation that we can utilize. So now you really have to understand reorganizing your friendship, surroundings, environment is so important if you want to change something in your life. If you're feeling stuck, maybe the environment, maybe the friendship. Have a look. I know they are very, very sweet. I know they're very kind. I know they're funny, amazing people. But again, does it align? Do they align with your vision? Do they align with where you want to go? I'm not telling you to put a middle finger and then say, fuck you. I don't think your friends are bad person or bad people. But if they are not helping you to elevate your life, if they're not helping you to improve your life or challenge your life, then you might want to step out and then start fresh and explore your life. I can guarantee by simply reorganizing and then make a better environment and friendship and surroundings, you could be in a totally different place. If you surround yourself with the wrong people, you could be ending up just in a 10 times worse situation than you are right now. Or you could be in exactly where you are, or you could be in a 10 times better. So don't compromise your life. You get one shot. And as Eminem said, would you capture it or let it slip? And it took me 3 years to get to where I am. From the beginning of this whole coaching or YouTube or social media journey, I was flat broke, living in the shittiest apartment I ever lived in my life. And I was in Amsterdam at that time. No followers on social media. I only literally had 1,000 followers on Instagram. Didn't have YouTube account, didn't have TikTok account. And the last 3 years was the fastest growth in my journey, in my life. But the most fastest part, like fastest and the fastest part in these 3 years came from when I literally changed my surroundings. So I moved out from Amsterdam and I changed my environment and surroundings. And then I got my coach and a mentorship. And I joined some groups who's also hustling and trying to build a business. So I was in the environment virtually, communicating with those people energetically, and then engaging with teachers and mentors and coaches who's absolutely ahead of me in their journey. So even if you are a loner, even if you actually don't have an access to the successful people, you can go to the yoga classes, you can go to the workshop or seminar, and you can engage with these people, hire a coach or mentorship. So I believe that is so important. And even though, my mentors and coaches when I was in Japan was far away, I couldn't see them, I couldn't hang out with them, right? But the fact that having a chat on a weekly basis and having that support and receiving the certain words from people who's ahead of you, that can actually become your surroundings. And now, because of the technology, we can do that. So now we have to utilize it rather than just mindlessly consuming the content and not utilizing the fact that we can actually use this social media or YouTube and contents out there to form our reality and then help us to elevate our life. Because at any times we're a student and then we design to learn 24/7. Your brain is literally consuming so much data 24/7. And then we are always ready to learn. It's called a neuroplasticity. At any stage of our life, we can learn new things. So we are designed to be a lifetime student. So the moment that you stop to be willing to learn, the moment that you actually say no to your possibility, say no to your potential, say no to transformation in life. So if you're ready to change your surroundings fast, you have to be mindful of what are you listening to, who you are talking to, and what is it that you're consuming, absorbing into your mind and body. Because that is the closest thing that you can change from today. People underestimate these simple, small habits. That is literally what we are eating, what we are listening to. Are you listening to this crazy negative news all the time? Or are you listening to people who's absolutely bullshitting or lying or some crazy shit? It's just a performance. There's a lot of content creators or business people who's just performance. Because when I'm not making content, I'm also consuming content. I'm watching podcasts, I'm listening to this and that, reading a book or watching somebody else's YouTube channel to learn. But if you're not watching the right content, that is fucking your brain up. And sometimes that we feel self-conscious when we hang out with people who's ahead of us, right? Because it's so comfortable to hang out with people just kicking back and smoking weed or drinking, going party, and then just pretending that you're better than your capability. But the truth is actually taking action and find the courage to make a change or to choose something that actually makes us feel uncomfortable does take a lot of work. You know, I feel the same way when I'm hanging out with people absolutely successful than me, absolutely ahead of me in whatever the journey they are on. That makes me feel like, wow, it's amazing. Like I'm here. But also that's make me feel like, you know what, I'm gonna get there. And that change of perspective, that change of how you see them will change how you feel towards them. But most of the time that's your ego, that's your fear, that's your insecurities. Who gives a shit? And always remember, it's 100 times better to hang out with people who is ahead of you and feel insecure and then feel, you know, your ego and then fear and then feel self-conscious, but then eventually be where you want to go in 5 years later, than just like kicking back with your homies and do nothing and then end up exactly where you are in 5 years later. Do not lose hope and willpower over the temporary discomfort. That is temporary. But if you get over that temporary discomfort, there's so much more to see. There's so much possibility. Because I was also back in the days hanging out with the losers. And well, I'm not trying to disrespect them, but I was a loser as well. So we were absolutely losers. And the fact that I felt so comfortable, I didn't need to challenge myself. I didn't need to feel insecure because they were absolutely in the same level. But once I stepped out and then meeting with people who's better than me, who's ahead of me, not to compare myself, but to look up and to respect and to see and feel, to lit the fire within myself, and I'm going to get there. And I want to learn something from these people. That changed everything about my life. You don't need to hate your friends. You don't need to disrespect your friends. But you have to look at the alignment. You have to make sure, are they aligned with your journey or with your vision? Are they actually elevating you? Are they actually lifting you up? Are they actually helping you to be a better version? And also the other way around. Are you actually helping somebody? Are you actually motivating somebody? Are you actually helping somebody to elevate themselves? Because you cannot just expect everybody else to lift you up. You have to be that person too. The most important part is to utilize that vast, most powerful force, which is your mind and body. You have to work on that so that you can also change your environment. You have to know that you are the one who's making a decision. You have the choice to make that decision or to make that change. People can ask you whatever they want to ask, but you can decline whatever they ask because this is your life. You have the choice, you have the right to do that. And never feel guilty for doing that. If you want to go somewhere, just go there. If you want to make that change, make that change. So this is absolutely time for you to be mindful of the environment, surroundings, and friendship, the relationship that you have, because that can be the aspect that holding you back the most. And then be the person that you want to look up to, that you want to respect. Don't let other people take your willpower. Make sure that you're receiving them from other people so that you can pay forward. Alright, with this said, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you like the video, make sure to subscribe button, notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao. Live your life like a movie.